Hi, this is Dan Courtney. You've probably heard the story hundreds, if not thousands of times, I know I have, of how Jesus died for your sins. But as I was listening to a video the other day explaining this in a little bit more detail, it suddenly occurred to me there's kind of a chess analogy that could be applied to this. Now, forgive me, I'm just going to break it down one more time for you here. That is, the story is, you are sinful and deserve punishment. Second, God is just, and therefore he must punish your sins. Third, God is also merciful and really loves you, so he sacrificed his own son so you wouldn't have to be punished. But there's a caveat here, that you can only access this forgiveness if you believe what I just said leading up to this, that he sacrificed his son for this, for you. So I play chess, although I'm not very good at it, and I can think, maybe 3 moves ahead if I really concentrate, and in some specific cases, even 4 moves ahead, which is pretty good. But really, this 4-tiered layer structure that we find here in the explanation of the story, starting with you are sinful and deserve punishment, and culminating with you're absolved of this if you believe, is really difficult to connect from one end to the other. And I think the reason for this is actually quite intentional. It's not to actually be able to follow the intricacies of linking everything together. It's almost a version of conversational hypnosis in which, while you're trying to figure out the first or second layer of this, and does it really make sense, for example, that God would sacrifice his son for something that you haven't done yet, the conclusion that therefore you have to believe is already coming in. Your mind is occupied with that earlier incongruous statement of a creator sacrificing himself in the form of his son for something you haven't done. Your mind is occupied trying to figure that part out while the conclusion is being implanted to you subconsciously. So I think that's really the point. The other interesting thing is that in chess, it's not necessarily the number of moves ahead that you can see. In fact, they say grandmasters don't do this type of brute calculation, but they in fact look for patterns. And I think one of the things that we can do is, instead of having to understand how each one of these pieces is connected, we can see the pattern here, patterns of deceit, in which laying out this process of God having sacrificed his son for your sins is really a means, it's a pattern, it's a means for coercing belief in something that otherwise wouldn't rationally connect. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you and thought it was worth thinking about. I wouldn't tell you that I know for sure that this is his conversational hypnosis, or for that matter, that chess is a particularly good analogy in this particular case. But in any event, there it is. If you're interested, you don't have to, but if you're interested, you can comment on this and tell me what you think. Thanks.